Hey, welcome to the big program this week. We're back at it. A couple of weeks. A lot has happened since the last time we were here. Our director, Josh, got a fancy new office upstairs. So that's pretty cool. That show down the hall that stole my set, they've stopped doing that. So that's progress. And the Gladiators won another championship. And so we'll talk to Jayson Serda as well as Manzano's Jack Blankenship on today's program. But first, Jayson, another title, man. That's got to be pretty special.
Oh, yeah. One of the best feelings in the world.
And the game, I mean, it goes down right to the wire. So take us through that last play.
Oh, man, it was just, hopefully, I didn't want it to get to that situation, but, yeah, they had the ball with like 3 seconds left on the three, and they had some guys open, and just some stuff didn't go right, and they dropped the ball, and we won.
Is it to a point now where you almost expect to win no matter what happens? Because I remember we were, after the Gladiators Gala on Friday, Coach and I and some sponsors were at dinner, and Coach asked us, were you guys nervous? And I said, no, you know what? After last year, I just always expect it to turn out right. Is that kind of the mindset the players have as well?
Yeah, you always want to go out there with the mindset to expect to win, but you also know you're going to have to go and earn it. It's not going to be given to you. So, yeah, I expect to win every time I step on the field.
I want to go back to what had to be a pretty cool moment for you, and that was the Gladiators press conference. Right, so the local media is peppering the commissioner with questions, right, and the commissioner is handling it with all the grace that you would think he would, and all of a sudden the local community, they just start hammering him with Jayson Serda questions like, why isn't Jayson Defensive Player of the Year? Why isn't Jayson MVP? This is absurd. That you're in the back of the room with your fellas. That had to make you feel pretty good that hey, all these guys are pretty much just surrounding the commissioner like a shark.
Yeah.
Talk about that.
Yeah, it felt good that my teammates and the fans recognized that I should have got the award. I had the stats too. I didn't win it, but I feel like by winning a championship, I won a better award.
Right, absolutely, no doubt. So take us through post-game celebration. What's going on in the 24 hours after the championship? That has to be pretty cool when you guys are just cruising around town with the trophy, bar hopping, that kind of stuff. Talk about the celebration.
Yeah, we had a big champagne shower in the locker room right after. And then just carrying it around, man, you're so excited. You just won a trophy with all your teammates and just sharing that moment and then having fun with the team. It's just very special, man.
Where's that trophy right now?
Last time I seen it, it was in Delo Davis' room.
Okay.
I haven't seen it since then.
So have you gotten your day? Like, does everyone get it for a day, or how does that work?
I had my share, a couple
right.
fun times with it. Yeah.
When we need to sign up for a day, Josh. We need to have our day with the trophy, and then we just rent a nice car that's nicer than ours and drive around. Let's talk about some stuff away from the field, though. Interestingly enough, our next guest, Jack Blankenship, played at Manzano. It's going to be going on to Western. We'll talk to him about that. But you coached at Manzano a little bit, so talk about that. What got you into that?
I went to Manzano, and last year was my first year trying to coach, and I had a great opportunity of coaching Jack, and he taught me a lot, man. He's a great athlete, and I believe he's going to do great things.
So what's the end goal there? I mean, would you like to become a head coach one day? Is it something you're just doing to help out, to keep your time occupied? I mean, what has it done for you?
I just want to, when my career's done playing, I want to still be connected to the game, and think coaching's the next best step.
And I hear it through the grapevine that, Manzano might be flying under the radar a little bit this year, right? Not a lot of people talking about them, but they're looking pretty good, especially on the defensive side of the ball, right? Can you give us a little preview on Manzano this year?
Yeah, we're pretty young, so we only have a couple of seniors this year. But we work hard. We got good coaches and good scheme, so we should be all right.
The question I got to ask is, you joined the staff, right? What was the expression of the team the first time you embarrassed them in the weight room? Because you had to walk in the weight room with them at some point.
Yeah.
And what was the look on their face?
Well, they always, one of the kids told me, he's like, you're one of the most jacked coaches in the state of Albuquerque. So that made me feel pretty good.
So you show them up pretty good in the weight room? You let them do their thing and then say, all right, let me show you guys.
We actually, our strength coach is actually Coach Esteban, and he's like a champion power lifter.
Right.
So he's the guy that was showing everybody up.
So quickly, everyone has to already have turned the page now and talking about three-peat. That's got to be pretty crazy to think about. The season just ended and people are already looking forward. But I mean, what do you do during the off season? What is your mental preparation for the following year, and what's your physical preparation?
Well, once you get one championship, two championships, you always want a third. But I just want to stay ready just for any opportunity that comes my way, either it be CIF, IFL, or NFL. Just keep training as hard as I can and see where that goes.
And that has been the buzz around town a little bit, right, is that the Gladiators might join the IFL. What is that, from a player's perspective, what are your thoughts on that? And, of course, this is just a rumor that we're hearing, but from a player's perspective, what are your thoughts on that?
It's higher level of talent, and there's going to be bigger and better players, a lot of ex-NFL players in that league. So you're going to have to step up to the plate, and if we're ready, we're ready.
The draw to the league seems to be always that you get to compete with the Arizona Rattlers and the team from Sioux Falls, right? The teams that have a lot of history and tradition. How do you think we match up against a team like that?
I haven't played against them, so I wouldn't know. But we got a lot of tradition here,
Right.
So I don't know. It'll be interesting.
As far as one last moment on the championship, the reality is not everyone's from here. You're a local kid, right? Obviously. But there's a championship. We had a nice event at the Hyatt on a Friday. But then life keeps going, and next thing you know, Thursday, everyone's out of the team hotel, players are at the airport, and it's just kind of over. Talk about the just finality, the way the season ends.
Yeah, it just, once the championship week comes, it's like it all happens so fast. Like 1 week we're celebrating, we just won with all our team, and then 3 days later, there's only 5 guys from the team here. So it is kind of different. I miss my players and stuff. But we still got to see where we go this summer.
All right, Jayson. Well, hopefully you can add another ring, maybe as an assistant coach at Manzano this year.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Hopefully.
Thanks for coming in.
Appreciate you.
We'll be right back with Jack Blankenship.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of Proview Sports Network. Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili, breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of Proview Sports Network.
What is glamour? Frailty. What is desire? Diamonds. They say a life lived without passion is hardly worth living.
Ma'am? Ma'am? Ma'am?
Dang, this one made me feel all special.
Get into the game with Garden Swartz Team Sales. They have everything you need, from screen printing, embroidery, and digital printing services, high school letterman jackets, and all high school and club uniforms, and individual and team apparel with the most reliable brands like Speedline, Rollins, and Wilson. And don't forget to check out the latest F7 Shut helmet. It's all at Garden Swartz Team Sales. Give them a call, 505-884-1234. Garden Swartz Team Sales.
Perez Collision Center is a proud sponsor of Proview Networks and Albuquerque Boxing. Perez Collision Center offers expert knowledge on any of your auto body and paint needs. Give them a call today, 505-254-4655, or stop by for a visit at 2415 2nd Street Northwest in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Perez Collision Center.
My next guest was a fantastic two-sport star at Manzano High School, where he played basketball and football. You saw him a lot last year on our top 10 plays. He had some dunks you didn't know he had, and he'll be going on to play football at Western. Jack Blankenship, welcome in, man. First of all, let's go over some dunks, man. That's not something we expected going into the season, right?
Yeah.
Talk about that.
It's something that, like, when I was little, I've always wanted to do. The first time I went to a basketball game, I saw someone dunk it, and I was just like, that's something I want to do. And then, being tall, I kind of got the opportunity to do that. And so my junior year, I had my first dunk in a game against Santa Fe. And after that, I just want to keep doing this. It was a great feeling.
I remember the first one I saw. I don't remember who you guys were playing. I think it was pretty early in the season at home.
Las Cruces?
It could have been, yeah. I believe it was Las Cruces because I was off that Saturday. I had the Las Cruces game against Sandia the night before, and I remember. I think it was Adam that was either Adam was doing the game or Adam was also off, and I remember I texted Adam. I was like, "Blankenship's dunking," and Adam had the same kind of response. He's like, "Yeah, man," and it was a good one. So we both kind of were, keeping an eye on that. And you guys had a nice season there at Manzano. It seemed like that was a nice little group. A lot of people maybe were talking about you guys before the season, but sometimes things just don't click. But it seemed like a nice group.
Yeah, Coach Romero really, because before he came there, we were kind of a struggling program. But he came in there and he really turned it around. And me, Dakota, and Tyler and James, our other seniors, we really took a leadership role and helped rally the younger guys to help us go on a little run kind of at the end. And
it was a pretty immediate turnaround. I mean, it wasn't like a rebuild that took years. It was He was in there, and bam, you guys were in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And what was the difference? Because you were right. Before Coach Romero got there, and I say this with all due respect, but you wouldn't find a Proview crew within a mile of a Manzano basketball game.
Yeah, we knew that.
Right?
We knew that.
And it was a very quick turnaround. What changed?
He let us play basketball. Like, he wanted us to run up the court, play good defense, and then go shoot layups on the other end is basically it. Our first couple of summer games, we struggled a little bit, but once we kind of got the hang of things, started getting some big runs, we're like, wow, this is exciting. And then we won our first game. During the summer after that tough season, it was kind of like once we just started winning, we just wanted to keep doing it.
Did you guys kind of expect that? I know when Dominic got the job, I know a few of us were like, hey, this is gonna 180 over here because he's won everywhere he's been and he's played a nice brand of basketball everywhere he's been. So, did you guys kind of know what kind of style he would be bringing? What did the players think when the change was made?
Well, at first we had no idea. He showed up to a couple of our open gyms and was talking to us. We didn't really know what to expect. But then after we started playing with him some games under him, we started getting the rhythm of it, and after that it just started clicking.
Now, football obviously is where your bread's buttered. That's where you're going to go on at the next level. So let's kind of shift our attention to football a little bit. Where did that start? How young were you when you started playing football?
I believe I was about 8 years old. My mom didn't want me to play football. My dad finally convinced her.
Okay.
And so I started playing when I was little, about 8 years old, in the Yaffle League. And at first I was terrified. Was scared to hit, all that kind of stuff. And then after a couple of years, it just started clicking. And then before you knew it, it was just second nature to me.
When did the growth spurt happen? When did you become the lanky, tall receiver?
I've always been pretty tall, but I would say around 7th grade is when I just started growing over everyone, and it kind of hasn't stopped since then. And so the trick has been, height has always been an advantage, but coordination has always been tough. Growing so fast, I was always pretty lanky and uncoordinated when I was growing up.
Because I know we do some Yaffle here at Proview, and it's funny to me always. There's always the one kid on the Yaffle team that seems like, okay, where's this guy's passport? Why does he have a beard?
Yeah.
And he's so much taller than everyone, right? And they're dominating. But that didn't happen for you until a little later then.
Yeah.
And then you get to Manzano, and some pretty special things happen at Manzano on the football field. We're going to take a timeout here, and we'll be back with Jack Blankenship.
The New Mexico High School Coaches Association, established in 1941, is an organization of New Mexico's best and most professional interscholastic coaches. Coaches across work daily to help our student athletes excel in the classroom, on the field of play, and in our communities. Students that participate in interscholastic activities attain higher grades, higher graduation rates, and higher wages. Responsible for the North-South All-Star Games, statewide Coaches Award Program, and providing multiple professional development opportunities for New Mexico's coaches. Be a great coach by coaching beyond the game.
Folks, there's no other way but to be all in. Either he's Lord of all or he is not Lord at all. And you can experience the real and authentic, true life change that only God can provide to humanity. See, when we truly encounter Jesus and purpose to know him and follow his teachings, #life change will occur.
Sadie's is a proud supporter of New Mexico high school sports and athletics, and we here at Proview Networks would like to thank Sadie's for their continued support in helping us bring you all of your New Mexico high school sports coverage.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of Proview Sports Network.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of Proview Sports Network.
Back with Jack Blankenship here. He's going to be going on to Western. We'll get to that in a moment. But first, let's talk a little bit about the glory days at Manzano. It's a nice seasons on the football field there. Of course, take us through the championship year and then your senior year.
Yeah, so the championship year, we didn't know what to expect. We always wanted to be good and we expected to win, but during the summer with some 7-on-7s, we were kind of shaky. We didn't know what to expect, but then by the time the season came, we won our first couple games. We're like, all right, we can do something with this. And then it didn't really click that we were a great team until after we beat Rio Rancho on the 5th game of the season, I think. And they'd always just
You didn't beat Rio Rancho.
Yeah.
You took them to the woodshed. That's what you guys did.
That really brought us together and like showed us that as a team that we can do great things, and it just kind of rallied us. And from then forward, we had the mindset that no one can beat us, and that helped us.
Individually, it had to be pretty self-assuring to you that, you know, defenses are focusing on Jordan a lot. You guys have this power running game, but it seemed like whenever they needed to drop one right to you in the corner of the end zone, you were right there, single coverage, and you always seemed to make those plays. I remember I traveled to the Las Cruces game. That was a good game. You had to talk about that game. First of all, that was a good game for you individually.
Yeah, that was an exciting game for sure, because we'd been to Las Cruces and it's always hot and miserable. But in late November it was cool, and so we were really feeling it. We had a lot of fans. They had a lot of fans, so it was exciting. And then that play before halftime when they threw it to me, Coach called my number, and it was that always moments before the play when they call your number, it's pretty, like you just a lot going through your mind. And then once the ball's in the air, it's just slow motion. It's pretty hard to explain, but then once it happened, that was probably the most exciting touchdown that I've ever had in my career.
It seemed, I know pregame, I was with Coach Mendoza, my broadcast partner, and we were kind of just watching, and he picked it up first. He said, Manzano's going to win this game. They're so calm right now. And I said, well, Coach, what do you mean? And he said, well, look at Jordan. He's just kind of relaxed. Look at all these guys. You guys seem to have a very business-like approach to that game. It seemed like you were just ready to do the job and head back to town. Take us into the locker room. I mean, is that kind of the mindset Coach Adcox tried to instill, or is that just the kind of guys you are, or what did we see? Take us through it from the players' side.
Yeah, so Coach Adcox always instilled to us whenever we go on road trips, it's a business trip. We just got to go do business. He always told us that. And then our seniors, they were great leaders, and that really helped us. They really took a leadership role of the younger guys, and they were all close together. So they were always able to calm us down in those high pressure situations that they had been in that maybe necessarily we hadn't. And so they really helped push us through those tough games like that.
Was that the most complete football team you've ever played on, just on all sides of the ball, at every position? It seemed like you guys were pretty balanced.
Most definitely, yeah.
Championship, did you expect what you got? A classic against a rival team, the low scores, the standing room only. I mean, was it everything you expected, or was it a lot more?
I wish we could score more points.
Yeah.
But other than that, it was more than I expected.
You only have to score one more than the other team. That's all that counts, right?
Yeah.
But what the crowd? I mean, that had to be. I mean, I wasn't expecting that. Obviously, I was not at the game. I was covering an Artesia game, but when Adam started sending me pictures of the crowd, I mean, I figured it'd be pretty full since it's in your backyard, but to see that many people just standing room only, I mean, what was that like from the field?
Yeah, usually when we walk down to warm-ups, there's a couple people trickling in, student sections starting to fill up, but by the time we walked in for warm-ups, an hour before the game, the stadium was already full, and there were still people lined up at the gate, and it was just, me and Dakota Powell just kind of looked at each other, we're like, oh man, this your heart's just racing. It was so exciting. And there's people lined up on the field. We saw a couple of our other coaches and people we've known. And it was really an exciting experience to be able to go through.
Senior year now, obviously the secret's out. You're a premier offensive weapon in the state of New Mexico. So what adjustments did that take from you, knowing that defenses were probably going to zone in on you a little more now?
I accepted the challenge. I really liked it when I would see a couple guys the safety scooting over to help me. But the thing I liked the most about it was it opened up other receivers, especially Austin Erickson, some of our other receivers. It gave them a chance to get one-on-one coverage, which they would exploit, and that's what I liked the most about it, seeing my teammates be able to do better from it.
When did football at the next level start to take a big importance at that point? I mean, was it always the plan? Was it something that just, okay, Western's interested, this is great? I mean, what's going through a senior's mindset when possibility of the game at the next level is obviously here?
Yeah. Well, during the season, I didn't really have any offers. I talked to UNM a little bit, and I thought about possibly trying to walk on there, but it wasn't anything indefinite. And so once the season ended, I kind of thought that might have been the end of football, and it was pretty upsetting. And then Coach Tristan from Western hit me up during the basketball season and said he wanted me to play. And then after that, Fort Lewis and some other schools started talking to me. And so it wasn't until after the football season when it started becoming real that I'd be able to play college football.
So what caught their eye? Did Coach say what they liked about your game there at Western?
Height and physicality is what they said. Them and the Fort Lewis coaches told me that. Being aggressive and a big receiver is attractive to college coaches.
Now, we kind of talked a little bit off air before we went on. There's not a lot of local kids on that team. It's not like Eastern. Eastern seems to recruit heavily in the city, but Western does not. So obviously they had to see something because it's not like they take a ton of local guys. So when do you head out? What's the preparation like now?
Yeah, so I head out August 8th is when I go and move in, and we start practice a couple days after that. But the reason they don't really get metro area kids is because no one really has known about Western until the new head coach came in. He's really been trying to turn the program around, and he's been recruiting mostly from El Paso and Tucson area, so a lot of Arizona and Texas kids. But we're definitely turning that program around. We have about 30 or so incoming freshmen on the team, so we're definitely a growing program.
So you said not a lot of people know about that team, but I shared some exciting news with you, right? So we might be covering those games here, right? So we're hoping to get that all finalized. And, obviously we love our partnership with Eastern. We love our partnership with Highlands, where we've been able to do things with them in the past. And we're hoping for kind of the same thing with Western. And that's obviously got to be pretty cool because, there's always aunts, uncles, grandparents that can't make trips every week to a football game. So we're hoping to get that done. Obviously, that's got to be pretty cool to think about, right?
Oh yeah, my family's gonna be very excited that they don't have to drive down there every week. But yeah, it's definitely cool to be able to have a bunch of people experience the experience that I'm going through, and that I've been blessed to have them be able to watch it as well.
Now, do you have Eastern on your schedule?
Yeah, they're in the Lone Star Conference with them, so we play them about halfway through the season.
Okay, so that's got to be pretty, because you got to talk about who's on the other side. I mean, Xavier's there, right?
Yeah.
Who else?
Austin,
Right.
Walker. Those are the only two from Manzano. But then we've had tons of players that I played with my sophomore year, Ryan Moore, and he's a defensive back there. So there's a bunch of Manzano kids that I've played with that I'm going to be playing against, that's really exciting.
Okay, and we're gonna end here with a little comparison of best two-sport athletes. I'm gonna take Manzano out. You can't take any Monarchs,
all right,
since you excelled at two sports there. So, what are your top 3 two-sport athletes in the city?
In the city, let's see, probably no Manzano athletes.
No Manzano.
That's where all the best athletes come
well,
from.
Hey, that's a good answer. That is a good answer. But no, your Manzano Monarchs are out.
Let me think. I'm trying to think of the two-sport athletes I know that are outside of the.
I'll do mine.
Okay.
I would start with Dorian Lewis.
Okay, yeah.
So basketball and football, and then I would. I didn't go to Manzano, so I can pick a Monarch, but right?
Yeah.
It seems only fair.
Yeah.
So Ramon Romero, golf and basketball, and then go back to Cleveland, Trey Watson.
I was about to take that one.
Right, and then so now you got your 3.
Gosh dang. Well, you took Trey Watson. I was gonna pick him.
Okay.
That kid's a beast. Kid from La Cueva. I don't remember. He just got offered from Western.
Jayson Lowry.
Yeah.
That's our guest next week.
Yeah, kid's a beast.
Okay, so there's one.
So that's basketball and football. Trying to think. Who else plays two sports?
What others were there at Manzano? You guys had a bunch too, right?
I would say probably the best one is Andrew Erickson. He graduated for me. Kid's just an animal. Jordan, obviously.
Right.
And then probably Dakota Powell.
Dakota Powell has a brother playing at Manzano, right, this year that I heard is supposed to be pretty good. Yeah.
Kid's, oh man, he's a
right.
monster.
Yeah, Dakota sent me some messages saying, "Hey, watch out for my little brother. He's going to be a beast." Do you guys kind of do that a little bit? You know, do you guys still follow along? And I know Jordan every now and then he'll hit me up on Twitter and say, "Hey, how's Manzano doing?" So does the connection never really end there? Do you guys kind of follow what the Monarchs are do?
Oh yeah, for sure. We still have the same group chat and we talk to each other all the time. I've gone to their 7-on-7s and hung out with the players, and then I'm good friends with pretty much everyone on the team. So we stay in good contact with each other.
All right, last question, then I'm going to put you on the hot seat.
Right.
At the end of the season, who has a better record, Coach Martinez or Coach Adcox?
Nothing against Coach Adcox. Love the guy. He's a great coach. But Coach Martinez, from the opportunities he gave me, I can't take anything away from him.
Right. And their defense, I hear, is going to be pretty stout.
He's one of the smartest football coaches I've ever been coached under my whole life. It's really a great experience to be able to have.
All right, Jack, we want to wish you all the best of luck, and we want to hopefully continue to see you. Hopefully we get that done and we get to cover some Western games. But thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
And thanks for watching tonight. Next week, our guest is Jayson Lowry of La Cueva and stand-up comedian Ian Jamerson. Good night, everybody.